bringing news from a different page. Truth served hot and bold and strong. Every week we sing along. Red, white, and true will stand tall. Echo the call loudest of all. With hearts of faith and liberty, together we find unity. Stories that make you think and pray. A light awaits at the end of day. Guided by the stars and stripes, through the stormiest of nights. Red, white, and true will stand tall. Echo the call loudest of all. With hearts of faith and liberty, together we find unity. When the world feels like a fight, hold your ground, stand for what's right. In the truth we'll find our way. Ed and Ronnie light the way. Red, white, and true will stand tall. Echo the call loudest of all. With hearts of faith and liberty, together we find unity. Red, white, and true will stand tall. Echo the call loudest of all. With hearts of faith and liberty, together we find unity. Together we find unity.
All right, everyone. Welcome to Red, White, and True here. We have Ronnie on the left side. We have Amy on the right side. And moi.
Ronnie's like, I'm on the left.
Well, yeah, he's on the left.
Bye.
Green.
And he's, now when he comes
Right.
back. Okay, so now on the left is Ed, on the right is Ronnie, and in the middle is Amy.
A rose between two thorns.
We're going to stop real quick, and Beth put a comment in that here locally, the high schools are Columbus East and Columbus North, and being Friday night, it's football night, and she doesn't know who the young man is, but heard the North football is being stopped for a serious injury. So we're going to pray for this young man. Father, as we are here tonight to talk about Charlie Kirk, we know that life will continue, and we're sad, and we're a lot of things when it comes to Charlie, but we have to continue on. And a huge part of our ministry is prayer. And so we don't know this young man. We don't know how bad he's hurt, what the injury is. But Father, we pray in the name of Jesus that you will take care of him, help be with the folks that are treating him right now and ones that will be treating him in the near future. And Father, help us as we continue on with another hour or two of our coverage of Charlie Kirk, that you'll help us to say and do the right thing. in Jesus' name. Amen. All right. Well,
Two?
well, yeah, we trying to get that off of there, and you guys got me all. I have a feeling it's going to be a rough night for the guy on the left side right now. I'm going to make a comment. I see our good friend from Pakistan, Sohail, is in here right now.
I hope he's feeling better.
And so we've prayed for you, Sohail, and hope you are feeling better. There is some serious flooding going on in his part of Pakistan, and he's had to, or his ministry has had to reach out and provide shoes for a number of children in a village there. So if you would like to help Sohail, if you'll get a hold of me, I can tell you how to do that. And Sohail, God bless you for what you do. You can see in here some of the people that love and support you that you've never met. And so thank you for being in here tonight.
We hope you're feeling better.
Yes, we do. Ronnie, we just got so much. We got so much to talk about, and we can spend the next hour to 2 hours talking about things that don't infuriate us, because there's so much, so many good things that are being said, and there's plenty of news about the capture of the young man. And we don't normally, hey, Crystal, our friend from Hope, she knows us. I did at a funeral for her brother a few months back. So much information on the arrest. And as I was saying, we don't normally give the names out of people who commit heinous acts the way this happened. And it's not like it takes a lot of difficulty finding out this name. So we will call him by name. And
they're actually in the process of coming up with Charlie's Law, which will make it illegal to announce mass shooters' names after an event.
Well, since you said that, let me find it.
Alrighty, this message is for President Trump and his administration. If you stay to watch the video, please tag him down below, share, and repost so we can try to get this to him as quickly as possible and hope that he can do something with this. President Trump, as a supporter who voted for you 3 times, I am hoping and praying that you will revisit what Barack Obama and Joe Biden got rid of back in 2013, which is the Smith-Mundt Act, which held news corporations accountable for lying to the American people and spreading propaganda instead of truth. I think instead of bringing it back as a Smith-Mundt Act, you name it the Charlie Kirk Act, you make it a law, and you make it damn near impossible for these people to continue to lie to the American public, which has brought chaos, hatred, division, and anarchy all across this country. Fines out the ass, which will damn near bankrupt their company should they lie to the American people ever again. They can have their opinions, that's fine. They need to state that it is their opinion and that it is not a fact. Because of their constant lies, a man lost his life over it. Because of the constant hateful rhetoric of calling him a fascist and a Nazi and a white supremacist and a bigot, the same thing that they've called you, this man is dead. I think this would be a great legacy for him to have a law named after him to force journalists to finally start telling the truth and having the integrity that they have lacked for over a decade. I hope that this gets to you. I hope that you think about it and that you pass it into law. Because we are on a dangerous path right now with the constant lies and the propaganda, and that doesn't end just at news journalists. It needs to go to content creators who consistently spread lies and propaganda and half-truths across the internet. This needs to end, and people need to start being held accountable for baseless claims over absolute abysmal things. It needs to end. So please, if you have it in your heart to have the time to do this, get this in front of Congress, get this passed as a law, and start holding these news corporations, be they right, left, or center, accountable for their behavior. Thank you.
What do you think, Ronnie?
I've actually seen several others, probably about 5 or 6 different walks of life. There was a lesbian woman, and all saying the exact same thing. I agree. So.
Well, since that actually came up right out of the chute, I've got several different groups, people that represent different groups that you might not expect to be ones that would speak out for Charlie. And one of them I'm going to play as the outro. And I'll say it this way because I'm going to give you the names of the group that these folks would represent. There is one trans person that we're going to play a video for. There is one conservative that gives the difference between conservatives and liberals. It's about a 7-second. That's all it takes. We've got a liberal for Charlie. And then the one outro we'll play as we're going off the air is a black man for Charlie. Now, Ronnie, what did you pick up off of those things those groups that I just mentioned?
Well, they're all people that originally probably weren't for Charlie until, unfortunately, what happened. I've seen that multiple times too.
And I think you may have a video that you made.
I don't have it complete yet. I've been working on it. Took a while to pack Alice's room, so I didn't get a chance to finish it, but it will be here by Tuesday. Okay. The only 2 things that I really wanted to put emphasis on is one thing. I've got 2 videos. We can watch the shooting video and we can watch everybody's opinion on it, but I'm going to show one now and I'm going to show one later, and we'll get back to your topic. I just wanted to cover. I wanted to hit this first. I apologize. This is how I want to remember Charlie Kirk.
Pancakes or waffles?
Oh, pancakes all day.
No.
100%.
No.
100%.
Why?
Well, first of all, I think waffles get so soggy so quickly.
What does a pancake have to offer?
Taste, texture,
They taste the
beauty.
same.
No, it does not. No, they do not taste
squares.
the same. No. See, the waffle, upon biting it, has a. It's not like I'm not like anti-waffle. I'm not like not like a anti-waffleite. But if you had to choose, I mean, is there anything more beautiful than just a stack of pancakes on a Saturday morning?
A stack of waffles.
No, see, first of all, they don't stack well. They're kind of like always piled. You ever see that? They just pile.
They're more flat. They're squared.
No, and then secondly, I don't know, it's too much crunch. It's just, if I wanted that, I would just have a bag of trail mix.
Trail mix compared to waffles?
Yes.
That's absurd.
It's about the same level.
That is, no. Okay.
I saw that one and I saved the best one for later. The discourse between the 2 guys is absolutely hilarious. So
the great debate.
Now we can go back to the strange people coming out of the woodwork that you wouldn't think supporting Charlie Kirk and actually Republicans.
Here we go.
Mom and I, you and I were talking yesterday. You don't know what God's plan was. Why he took Charlie Kirk. Right. And I've got to tell you, I said, don't worry about it. It's God's plan. I've seen so much in the last couple of days that I'm not saying it happened, God's plan, but it's a weird side effect. So.
Well, I told your mom, we talked about that as well, that maybe the plan, and I'm not speaking for God, I haven't had any revelation about that, but maybe the plan is that they're going to be hundreds or thousands of Charlie Kirks now because of his short life. So let's listen.
I actually have a picture going in that video, and it's got 100 people stand there with white shirts on that all say we are Charlie Kirk now, or we are all Charlie Kirk now, something like that.
I think that is the call that's going out right now. We are Charlie Kirk.
It was like hashtag.
It's a hashtag.
Hashtag.
Yes. Yeah.
So
I can't remember what the full hashtag was.
I'll get it here in just a second. Let's listen to what a liberal that right out of the chute, so if you're paying attention, right out of the chute says, I disagree with Charlie Kirk on everything.
I disagree with Charlie Kirk on every political talking point. But if you couldn't see the value in what that guy was doing, that's a problem. He was wandering around the country having rational discourse with people, allowing people to disagree with him, letting them speak, while he got insulted like a lot of the time, just aggressively. And he would just say what he thought, and he believed in what he believed in, dude, and had reasons for it, and presented them. And sometimes he would have a conversation with someone, they would disagree, make good points, and they would both just leave, and it was fine. And that's exactly what we need. And now he's dead, dude. We need more people like Charlie Kirk. Not that believe in the same things, but act on their beliefs in the same way. I genuinely believe he was one of the most important people in politics. Encouraging conversation. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. We need more people like you.
The difference between a conservative and a liberal is a conservative will hate your opinion. A liberal will hate you for your opinion.
Ding! Mic drop.
Right?
And one more. This one is a little bit longer. This one, you might want to, well, if you do this from the beginning, you won't be shocked. But if you wait and put your hand over your eyes after it starts, I think you'll understand. I think you'll understand what I'm talking about.
All right, y'all. Another W take from Jeffree Star on the whole Charlie Kirk situation. Take a listen.
Body, absolutely. And they can do whatever they want to themselves. And I pray that they find mental peace. But it doesn't matter what you have going on with you psychologically, you will always be who you were born. How is that even a debate? No matter how many surgeries I get, I'm always gonna be Jeff. Science doesn't lie. How is that a debate? So a grown man that goes around the country debating people, spitting facts, was just taken out. And I'm not over it. I can't sit here and play with makeup right now. I want to throw up. So no, I'm not a Republican. No, I'm not a Democrat. I'm Jeffree Star. Stop trying to label me. Stop trying to label me. I am a male. I am a makeup artist. I am a makeup mogul. I am a business owner. I am a farmer. I am a rancher. I am a son. I am someone's cousin. I am someone's friend. Stop labeling me. Y'all don't know anything about my beliefs. You just assume. Because I said I was thankful that Trump brought back TikTok, I'm now being accused of being a Republican. All I said months ago when TikTok was banned and my business could be affected tremendously, I said, wow, thank God Trump fixed it. Or I wouldn't be able to sell my cosmetics on this platform. Your DNA is still who you are. Why am I saying any of this? Because Charlie Kirk fought for the rights. He fought for the truth. He debated everybody. And you guys cannot argue that. You are delusional and you are mentally ill if you are trying to go against what I just said. I didn't say my opinion. I said a fact. I am Jeffrey Lynn Steininger Jr. That's who I am. I am born a male. There's no debates. There's nothing to say. People want to go against facts and they want to be angry. So someone just took out Charlie Kirk because he speaks facts. I am horrified.
Okay, you might wonder why we gave that video some time on Red, White, and True with Ed and Ronnie. And the reason is, along with the other videos, along with the video you will see at the very end, that is the groups that liberals tell us that Charlie Kirk hated. He hated blacks. He hated the trans. He hated liberals. He promoted gun violence. And I think we just witnessed, and will witness at the end, the exact opposite. I think those videos prove the liberals wrong. That Charlie Kirk did. I don't believe Charlie Kirk hated anybody.
Absolutely
No.
not. I think he had it within him to hate anybody. I think it took a lot for him to dislike anybody, because he had so much of Jesus in him. I don't think he had it in him to dislike anybody. He might have hated the sin they were in, but he couldn't have hated anybody.
Well, Ronnie, talk about all of the different people that have loved Charlie Kirk all along that you've read today. I've seen Donald Trump Jr. I've read J.D. Vance. I've seen conservatives that are hugely Christian and talking about things. I've seen conservatives that like to use the F-bomb, that have dropped the F-bomb about Charlie Kirk being killed.
Yeah.
And so what you think?
People, if my computer would want to cooperate with me, I've got some pictures I wanted to show, but people either like Charlie Kirk or they hated Charlie Kirk. And a lot of people liked him more than I realized. In our survival group chat, the lead from Metallica actually offered to pay for Charlie Kirk's kids, Elon Musk, a couple other people I don't recall right now. It's a really cool thing. I've got several pictures from sports players that really liked him, and the people that hated Charlie Kirk. Demons only celebrate death, and these people are celebrating death is disgusting. So we can get into that. We can talk about that for hours. I've actually got a couple of pictures where this one guy has made it the last 2 days. His full-time job is getting people fired. And I believe he said something about 200 people have been fired now for what they posted. Doctors, nurses, veterinarian, school teachers, a lot of school teachers, a firefighter from Toledo. So I'll have some more on that probably on Tuesday. I'm trying to get my computer to work because I wanted to show the picture. Sorry. I guess I'm going to have to do it this way. I don't know. We'll see.
You close?
Well, it's my computer's wanting to fight and argue with me, but I'm trying here. Just go ahead and I'll see if I can pull it up.
If you interrupt me, I'll understand.
Shut up.
He was talking to the dog, right?
I hope.
You said interrupt you.
If he wasn't, he must have been talking to you.
No.
Because he don't tell me to shut up. I mean, he's never told me to shut up on the air.
I might have told Mom once or twice growing up.
What?
I might have told Mama that once or twice growing up.
Not within earshot.
And if I did, I woke up in a pool of blood.
Well, we look at what Charlie did with his life. It's admission time here. I think everybody in the world knew this except for me. that Charlie Kirk did not have a college education.
No.
I thought for sure. I mean, I didn't even ever think about it. And I probably heard him make reference to college being a scam and a waste of money and things like that. I'm sure but I never equated that with that he didn't have. Now, I think he had an appointment to one of the military academies.
West Point.
No, Air Force.
I was thinking it was the Air Force, but I don't know that. Air Force, Ronnie?
Yeah, Air Force.
Did he go, or did he just get an appointment?
I just got an appointment, I believe.
Okay.
This isn't red, white, and true. This isn't red, white, and assume, so please don't quote me on it. I'm going to have to figure a better way to do this for some reason. I cannot get this picture to come up.
Well, let's do this. If you're watching, listening, however you are paying attention, throw in a comment about Charlie Kirk in the comment section. Love to flash your comments up, and you know, one of the things that is necessary is, I think probably most people that are in here love Charlie Kirk. This is not like anything that we have gone through, and I'm going to get to that point. Well, let me just make this point before you guys go ahead, put your comments in. But I've been seeing a lot of people that would put comments out about where was all of this anger about a murder, where was all of the political issues with when the state senator from whichever state, I can't even think, maybe South Dakota or somewhere, was murdered along with her husband in their house back in June, I believe.
Minnesota?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right, because it had Tampon Tim had a lot of things to say. Yeah. There is a huge difference. Charlie Kirk was assassinated for his, I think, first of all, he was assassinated for his religious beliefs, because this is good versus evil. And the very underlying thing was the evil that took place.
That's so sad.
The other, I was looking at the comment too. The other part of that is he was known by millions.
Yeah.
Now, let me say this. Every life is important. God.
Sorry, I didn't mean to take you off of there.
Oh, now you're on the left again.
I finally figured out how to get this picture on here. So
there you go. We are all Charlie Kirk.
Now. Yeah.
Oh, now I was reading this one.
Well, I was looking at that one. I know what you're.
I will go this back. And on the left again.
So every life is important. Everyone, whether it be some of the homeless people we've seen in downtown Indianapolis today, to President Trump, and everyone in between. Every one of those lives is important. But there are some people that are known by millions. And that doesn't make them any more important. It just makes them more well known.
Pretty much.
They being the two people in Minnesota, I could be wrong. You can correct me if you know the answer. I don't know that they were murdered for their religious beliefs.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely I don't even know if they were murdered for their political beliefs. Maybe. I don't know that. I would have to research that. It's not comparing apples and apples.
No.
They weren't murdered live on television. And again, I know if there are any liberals in here, I'm making their heads spin right now because they're in their mind and probably screaming at the screen that he's making Charlie Kirk more important than anybody else. Charlie Kirk is not more important than anybody else. But Charlie Kirk got murdered in front of the entire world.
Yeah.
I mean, you can read and watch videos of people from all over the world.
Yep.
It's a huge deal in England.
Well, I saw a guy in China that was having a fit, and he said, I'm neutral. I'm Chinese. And he was deep Chinese. It was hard to even understand him. And he said that it was such a shame that he was devastated because it should have never happened.
Well, to be quite honest, Charlie Kirk would have spoke out against China and the way the Chinese do things.
Right.
Another instance of what we talked about earlier.
Sure.
And
I actually have a picture where South Korea has set up a tribute for Charlie Kirk.
Wow.
I've played videos of her on here, and I didn't get it downloaded, but the young lady that almost always her videos are about Israel. She's called the Opinionated Girl. And if I put that up right now, you guys would all say, oh, that's her. You know, she's got the really, really kinky curly hair that kind of, anyway.
Is that like politics grandma? Well, it's supposed to be politics woman, but she's old, so everybody just calls her politics grandma.
And she had a long opinion of, you know, people say that Charlie Kirk only liked straight white Americans, I think. And she says, well, I'm straight, but I'm not white. I'm not male. And you know, went on that the entire thing was that all of the lies that people have told about Charlie. It's amazing how all of these armchair liberals know who he hates and know what he disagrees with, but they can't throw up a video that's not been doctored that says he hates any of those things. Now you can take a kind of like pulling one scripture out of the Bible.
Yeah.
You can take two sentences where he might say blacks commit more crime than any other race and say that, well, see, he hates black people. He wouldn't say that if he didn't hate black people. But if you listen to the whole thing that he says, he's just speaking facts. He takes percentages, he takes statistics, and tells it like it is. And sometimes statistics and percentages don't tell the whole truth, but he would explain the times that it didn't tell the whole truth.
Right.
Everybody that wants to say, aha, I got you, Charlie Kirk, are all losers. And what I mean by that is they're not the L, you know, that everybody laughs about. They lose the debate with Charlie Kirk. That's where they're a loser. Charlie Kirk would out debate you about Charlie Kirk. Ronnie, you got some things.
I do. Let's see here. So the EU apparently a few years ago did a moment of silence for sorry, I'm getting bit by piranhas right now. So they were trying to do a moment of silence for Charlie Kirk, and the EU actually erupted. This video is one of the many, many, many that made me sick.
Watch as European politicians refuse to observe a minute's silence for Charlie Kirk.
Madam President, dear colleagues, the murder of political activist Charlie Kirk, a husband, loving father, and patriot, has shocked the world. We must strongly condemn political violence and rhetoric that incites violence. Please stand with me in reflection and prayer in his honor, and I yield the rest of my time for a moment of silence.
But parliamentarians had other ideas. MEPs were outraged.
Sehr geehrte Kolleginnen und Kollegen.
MEPs were pointing out the Parliament had observed a silence in memory of George Floyd after he was killed in 2020.
On behalf of Parliament and personally, I would like to express my deepest condolences to George Floyd's family and friends. His death on May 25th has led to protests in the United States, in Europe and around the world. I want to invite you to observe a minute's silence in memory of George Floyd and all of the victims of violence, racism and discrimination.
The scenes echo the rancor scene in the US Congress on Wednesday night, where
he just goes on to say it was about the same as it was in Congress on Wednesday night. But what they did, now the Democrats in Congress on Wednesday night, they were yelling, and actually I went back and rewatched the video I showed. You heard the F-bomb a few times. They were swearing. But I just like how they wanted a moment of silence and they were stomping and all that. That's absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely. What do you think about that?
What do you think? Do we not want to know what you think?
No, you don't.
Well, you know, the old, if you don't like it, scroll on or delete somebody. You know, if they didn't want to give a moment of silence in honor of him, just be quiet. Just be quiet.
Sit there. Play on your phone. Do something. Now I've got another. This I'm not going to show it all because it's so I can't even stomach it. Ilhan Omar decided she wanted to open her mouth.
There are a lot of people who are out there talking about him just wanting to have a civil debate. There is nothing more up, you know, like than to completely pretend that, you know, his words and actions have not been recorded and in existence for the last decade.
I can't even stomach that. Yeah, his words and actions were recorded and are in existence, but everything else is bad.
Well, that wasn't the only foul language in that clip. First of all, I'm not sure why the Democrats think that using foul language is acceptable, other than showing that they are totally against God. And I'm not saying that just because you say a cuss word that you're going to hell, but they kind of are proud of the fact that they use the F-bomb on a regular basis. But I read somebody that was referencing her and said that she needs to be expelled from Congress and deported because she fraudulently came to the United States based on marrying her brother.
Now, we've said that since the inception of Red, White, and True.
Yes, we have.
I mean,
we are Red, White, and True, and we are not making that up.
Well, to get off of her and back to this George Floyd thing, how can you even compare these two? I mean, that is just absolutely ridiculous. George Floyd was a criminal. He was combative. He was high. I mean, there's just a whole list of things that went along with that. Charlie was not combative. He was not high. He was not a criminal. He did not do anything to deserve being shot. They go absolutely nothing into the same, absolutely nothing goes together.
The only thing they had are they're both dead.
That's it.
The thing that bothered me is somebody had said Charlie Kirk believed in public execution, so he got what he deserved. There's a difference, and I tried explaining this to somebody online. Public execution is someone who is convicted of a crime, who has committed some sort of offense against humanity. Charlie Kirk just wanted to talk to people. That's it. Have public and open discourse.
Well, another difference would be that the person that had committed and been convicted of a crime had legal representation. They had an appeal process.
Absolutely.
They had all of these things. Charlie didn't get any of that.
Nope.
Another difference would be a crime is against someone. Most crimes that you would get executed for would be murder. I mean, they don't do public executions for stealing your neighbor's dog
or preaching the word of Jesus.
And so there's a lot of differences there, and the left just continues to use stupid arguments.
Absolutely stupid arguments.
Stupid arguments. Wanted to.
It's not apples to apples. It's apples to meatloaf.
Meatloaf?
That sounds pretty good.
Well, we said that we wanted to get some comments in here. Bill and Tanya were waiting on confirmation to see him in Bloomington. Beth said his abortion views were on point in my eyes.
Absolutely.
Cisco said, I remember growing up, if you had an issue about anything, the way you looked or whatever you said, we didn't shoot people or stab people. We fight you with our fists. That is the old school way of doing that. And I just continue to read over and over things that make no sense about the murder, the assassination, the public killing of a patriot, a hero, man of God, starting off with Christian, husband, father, son, all of these different things. And
friend, because he had friends that are just
amazing amount of friends that are. I was searching for. I seen a video clip of Megyn Kelly with a split screen with Glenn Beck, and they couldn't even talk. They were crying so hard they couldn't even blubber a word out for a few seconds. David Harris, you mentioned him, and he apparently, I didn't see the video. Amy saw this one. Said that they had been friends for 10 years.
Yeah.
Crying like a baby. And here, I want to get this in, and it fits here very well. This is what the left does. And then when you add in how they've reacted at this, they're like cheering their own on.
You know why there aren't uprisings all over the country, and maybe there will be.
There needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's unrest in our lives.
You got to be ready to throw a punch. Well, you have to be ready to throw a punch.
Donald Trump, I think you need to go back and punch him in the face.
That I thought he should have punched him in the face.
Feel like punching him.
I'd like to take him behind the gym if I were in high school. If we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him. No, I wish we were in high school, I could take him behind the gym.
I will go and take Trump out tonight.
Take him out now.
Okay.
When was the last time an actor assassinated a president?
They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump.
Show me where it says that protests are supposed to be polite and peaceful.
And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere.
I have thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House.
Please, get up in the face of some Congress people.
People will do what they do.
I want to tell you, Gorsuch, I want to tell you, Kavanaugh, you have released the whirlwind, and you will pay the price.
We're gonna go in there, we're gonna impeach the
Well, this is just a warning to you Trumpers. Be careful. Walk lightly. And for those of you who are soldiers, make them pay.
If you had to be stuck in an elevator with either President Trump, Mike Pence, or Jeff Sessions, who would it be?
Does one of us have to come out alive?
Can you say wow?
You Trumpers, I like that.
Well, not only did she say you Trumpers, but then she basically threatened our lives in the next sentence.
Yeah.
You Trumpers. Now, in the past, we kind of just laughed that off and said, bring it on. And we can still say that. But now we also can say, well, they might shoot you. I mean, who's to say that Billy Graham's no longer around? Let's say Franklin Graham is doing an outdoor evangelism conference. Well, they obviously, anytime a major outdoor thing is going to go on, their security is going to have to quadruple, if not more. Drones are going to have to be in the air watching what's going on. But can Franklin Graham get up and speak the way he has always spoke, the way Billy Graham spoke? I'm going to say yes, he better. And I know him well enough, not personally, but I know the way he does things well enough that he's not going to let what's this kid's name?
Robinson. His last name is Robinson. First name starts with a T.
Tyler.
Yeah, there you go.
Tyler. He's not going to let Tyler Robinson shut him up. But we had this talk last night at Bible study. We have a single lady, a very frail, thin, single lady that said that there's sometimes she worries if she's got a Christian t-shirt on, and depending on where she would be, whether or not she would be safe wearing her Christian t-shirt.
Yeah.
And so, Ronnie, I want you to speak about that because you were here last night.
Yeah.
And folks, in the comments, I'd like to hear your comments about the fear factor. And I don't want to, beat your chest and say, I'm not going to give in. I want you to think like the frail single lady that was worried about wearing her. She still wears her Christian shirts. I can tell you, I know her well enough to know. But I want you guys to speak on that in the comments. Ronnie, what do you think?
Well, like I said before, I've got Trump bumper stickers, but that I've never put them on my car. I put them in my gun safe, and I don't want a flat tire. I don't want to deal with slash tires. I don't want to deal with busted windshields or anything like that. It's really bad that a frail woman, is afraid to wear a shirt. There's been a couple times where I've been almost refused service because I wore a MAGA hat. I wanted to see what would happen, and we walked in Steak and Shake wearing a MAGA hat, and no one would talk to us. And it's ridiculous how people have to be that way. It shouldn't matter your politics. We're all Americans. We're all humans. Treat another person like a human. It's ridiculous. It has to be that way. The right doesn't do that to the left. The left does it to the right. Same thing with, murder or laughing about murders. The right doesn't do that to the left. We're not hee-hawing around about Joe Biden's cancer diagnosis. We're not hoping, I can't wait for him to go. That's ridiculous.
Well, my question is, why aren't all of those, because those are threats. Those are straight out recorded threats.
Absolutely.
Why is that not, why are those not being legally followed up with?
Well, even some that have, that nothing happens. When Kathy Griffith showed up with the head of Trump with what appeared to be blood, it was probably ketchup or something, but You know, nothing happened. When Madonna threatened to burn down the White House,
blow it up.
Yeah, blow it up. Nothing happened to her.
Well, when was the last time an actor thought about assassinating a president?
Those are terrorist threats. Why let a Republican or somebody on the right make that kind of a terrorist threat, and that would go. I mean, there would be a consequence to that.
Well, but see, Christian conservatives that do the right thing.
Oh, Ronnie, come on.
Nothing. I've got him trained.
Okay.
Sorry. It took me a minute. I'm half asleep over here. You said do the right thing. She did it. And I went, oh, yeah.
But we don't do that. I mean, that's just not what we do. And so
this comment right here, you know, why aren't they being booked in jail? Like what Madonna said about blowing up the White House. And here's the thing on this. And here's what my take is the left feels so oppressed, and the left is always, you know, we're being taken on, we're being hurt and everything. There's not going to be a judge in the land that's going to stand up and say, oh, well, yeah, you're right. That's the terroristic threat. You know, it's time for you to go to jail, because then I'm guessing because a lot of those judges or prosecutors or anybody that would go and do that would be afraid of retaliation. I mean, case in point, Charlie Kirk, retaliation. If they don't like Charlie Kirk's speech, how are they going to handle an actual action that locks somebody up or takes away somebody's freedom or takes away somebody's right to do that? You know, the snake's already in the corner. It already lashed out and bit. I can only imagine what more they would do.
So what do we know about this Tyler Robinson? Is that what?
I didn't learn the dude's name. I really don't care, but I do have a video, and it's a video of him, 16 seconds, and it's infuriating.
Congratulations, you have been selected to receive the Resident Presidential Scholarship from Utah State University. The value of this scholarship is approximately $32,000. This scholarship is available for 4 years or 8 semesters.
That just puts a face with evil. I read that, and this, I actually seen a picture with this. Before he went to college, he wasn't into politics or anything like that. He was just a young man. And family has said that he changed when he went to college. And then there was a collage picture that must have had 30 different people before and after starting college. And that we've always said that college professors were doing the things that people are now realizing that they were doing, indoctrinating our children. You know, my oldest, the worst, I say this, the worst thing that ever happened to him is when he enrolled at Indiana University.
Well, just like Charlie Kirk says, that college is nothing more than a liberal breeding ground.
And
like the shooter people who don't care about politics or anything, they're indoctrinated. And, you know, you have to do the cool thing. You have to do what everybody else is doing, which is, you know, bashing Trump, orange man bad. And, you know, God forbid you go against that. God forbid you pray on campus, or God forbid you, you know, do anything else, you know, anything that's not following the left and what they're doing.
Well, there have been some very appropriate tributes so far. This one's only 18 seconds, but I thought this was really neat.
On the visual 26, South 1555, Phoenix 4, wind 2409, runway 26, good line. Clear line 26, Southwest 1555.
Welcome home, Charlie. You didn't deserve it. May God bless your family.
Air traffic control in Phoenix as Air Force Two brought Charlie's body back to Arizona.
I have one as well. Have you guys ever heard of Stained? Very popular band when I was in high school, and this was at a concert yesterday.
I'm going to dedicate this next song tonight to Mr. Charlie Kirk.
I'm not going to play it all, but it's a really good song. Look it up.
You spent a lot of time nodding your head. What's in you spent the last probably 3 hours looking at video after video after video of what's going on and what has gone on. Tell us what's in that head that you've been shaking.
It's pretty much hollow.
No, it ain't.
It's just the whole thing is a sad situation.
Well, I know that the day it happened, you were sick all day long.
I was at work and it was just a bad day all the way around.
Tell us about your coworker that came in.
I had a coworker that came in and he instantly came where I was at and said, "This is a really bad day." And he wasn't on his game at all that whole day because he was so upset. He was reading news, different news stories and different news broadcasts and he was coming in and we watched the president's speech together and it was just a bad day, very bad day. Sad day in history, and it will be history.
I do have another dedication video. It's actually kind of goofy because the guy makes a Charlie Kirk pizza, but it's actually kind of moving.
You want me to make a Charlie Kirk pizza? All right, let's do it. Did you say pizza for Charlie Kirk? Rest in peace, brother. A lot of strength for the family. God bless you.
That was awesome.
Oh,
it's kind of goofy, but I thought it was cool.
This guy is probably helping make the point. Most people would say Charlie Kirk is against Hispanics because he's for border control.
Well, I saw a couple of Hispanic videos last night, and they were outraged, and the one especially was outraged at the Democrats for the way they were behaving, and the one said, "I am not a Republican, but I will be." He said, because the way the Democrats are acting, I don't want to even be associated with that. And I mean, he was very foul-mouthed and very harsh language, and was probably a gangbanger. But he said that man did not deserve what he got. And he said, I don't want to be associated with a political organization that rallies around and behaves that way after something like that happened.
Another tribute. And if you didn't recognize who that was Sheriff Lamb. Was that his daughter?
That was his wife.
Okay. She looked a lot younger than he did. Does.
That was his wife.
Well, the comment that was made about J.D. Vance, that's one of the, we could go through a long list of people that Charlie Kirk was very close to. And I told you a story about when J.D. Vance was had made his decision to run for the Senate, that before he ever announced his decision, he was going over all parts of the decision with Charlie Kirk, you know, the financing and policy positions and everything that goes into a campaign. And yeah, Ronnie showed us that earlier when he was here. And those young conservatives are going to have to carry on the Charlie Kirk legacy. And, you know, all of the things that the Democrats were saying in the one video, you know, punch them and kill them and all kind of stuff, they're going to pay for it. I'm not threatening them, but they're going to pay at the polls. They're going to pay in respect. You know, if they don't straighten their act up and get right with God, they'll pay for eternity. And here's, I was waiting till the proper time and it came up. There's a difference between standing up for what you believe and being bold than calling out for revenge. I think all three of us here would agree that we don't need revenge for Charlie Kirk. Now, the humanistic part of us would be, yeah, we want a peace, but that's not the way we're going to win this. There, look what Beth just said. Ronnie, throw that up there. As Christians,
absolutely.
As Christians, we have to be more bold than ever with pointing out how evil the liberal agenda is. And that's what it is. We have to quit pussyfooting around with worrying about liberals' feelings, because the liberals are proving right now they don't have feelings.
Right.
If you can make fun of a 31-year-old man that has a wife and 2 kids, forget everything else. If you can make fun of any 31-year-old man that has a wife and 2 kids being murdered in public, then you don't have feelings. And we've got to call it out. When we see people online, you don't have to go on their page and attack them, because personally, I don't think that's the right thing to do. That's not a, you know, the preacher says don't do that. It's not one of those. But I can certainly put on mine, and will be soon, giving my opinion on the left and what they have caused. To think that all of those things that were in that video didn't cause what happened to Charlie Kirk, you'd have to have a brain the size of a pinhead.
We're talking about liberals, right?
Yes. Well, anybody that would think that all of this violent talk isn't going to lead to violence would have to be stupid. Plain and simple. If every preacher in the country started saying what the Muslims say, if they don't convert, kill them, then Christians would start doing that. I mean, at first they'd say, man, that's pretty, wow, that's out there. But enough people started saying that if people don't convert to Christianity, then we need to kill them. and somebody could take that out and say that's what Pastor Ed said. No, but I'm using a point. If enough people said that, enough preachers, then people would start doing that. Well, people don't need cheerleaders for evil. And that's exactly what the left does. They are cheerleaders for evil. How can they worry about Charlie Kirk's murder when they're okay with the murder of millions of unborn babies? You know, the evilness that is the left, and you can quote me on this, the evilness that is the left, that right there, the evilness that is the left is showing themselves more and more and more.
Absolutely.
If you can kill babies in their mother's womb, then you ain't going to give a dang about whether Charlie Kirk gets his neck shot off, has liters of blood on his shirt and on the ground before he ever even hits the ground, dead before they was able to pick him up and take him to a limo or whatever that was that they took him to. You, the listener, have got to be prepared mentally and otherwise. Ronnie can talk about the otherwise stuff anytime you want to talk to him. But you have got to be prepared mentally that the left hates your guts. Oh, I went through puberty. The left hates your guts. They hate what you believe, and they will be willing to do anything to silence you.
Absolutely.
That's a fact. That's not an opinion, because all I have to do is go to one of 500 million videos out there right now showing the left cheering a good man being assassinated. Okay. You gonna pat me on my back, or you gonna smack me upside my head, or Ronnie, get me off my soapbox.
Well, I've got that one video I was going to play earlier. I showed it to you guys when I was over there. It's got the information about past assassinations.
On the same day Charlie Kirk was shot and killed, 2,000 miles away in Florida, a trial began for the suspect accused of trying to assassinate President Trump a year ago next week. Barely 2 months after a bullet hit the president in the right ear at a campaign stop in Butler, Pennsylvania. It's a dark reminder of an earlier era, the assassinations of President John F. Kennedy, civil rights leader Martin Luther King Jr., Senator Robert F. Kennedy, and attempts on the lives of President Gerald Ford and Ronald Reagan. More recently, there was the 2011 shooting of then Arizona Congresswoman Gabby Giffords, and the 2017 shooting of Louisiana's Steve Scalise, the number 2 Republican in the House of Representatives. Both were critically injured in the attempts on their lives. In April, the residence of Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro was set on fire. No one was injured. And in June, former Minnesota House Speaker Melissa Hortman and her husband were shot and killed in their home. Federal judges and their families have also found themselves the targets of violence. Supreme Court Justice Amy Coney Barrett recently told CBS News' Norah O'Donnell she was forced to explain her bulletproof vest to her son.
One of my boys saw it and said, "Wow, is that what I think it is? That is so cool. Can I try it on?" Thinking this is a parenting moment that I wasn't quite prepared for. I said, "Sure, go ahead." And he puts it on, and then he looked up at me and he said, "Wait, why do you have a bulletproof vest?"
We are seeing the normalization of political violence.
University of Chicago professor Robert Pape warned in a recent New York Times op-ed, we may be on the brink of an extremely violent era in American politics.
We are seeing the radicalization of the public in the United States on both the right and the left. That is going side by side with the rise.
Now, I'm going to stop that right there because he just said on the right and the left. Give me one name in the last 10 mass shootings that the guy voted politically right or produced Republican ideology. None. Zero. What about the last 50? The last 100? 5 people, maybe?
Oh, what? The thing is, the first thing they want to do is look out for what party the person is.
Mm-hmm.
Party doesn't define a person, or it shouldn't define a person. What they need to look at is good versus evil, and 100% of it is evil. If it's evil, it's evil. And as Christians, we need to call out evil. We need to pray for one another. We need to pray for the boldness. We need to pray for protection. And, again, it's hard to figure out why God allowed that to happen to Charlie. I know when you was over here, I think yesterday you mentioned that free will is part of what God allowed us to have. And
absolutely.
And so we do have that, but we also pray for protection over people. And so we have to be better than evil. I seen someone made the comment, vengeance or revenge isn't the answer. And the way you get revenge properly is by having "We Are All Charlie Kirk" now out there and taking that message. Well, we're going to close out here in just a second. What do you want to say at the end here? I'm trying to get you.
I don't have anything to say.
I know you've had a headache all day long and not felt good. And
I've got a video talking about inscriptions on the bullet casings. That can wait till Tuesday. It's not that important.
No, go ahead and play that.
Okay.
Go ahead and play that.
Hey, what's up, America? Liberals are now trying to pretend that the shooter of Charlie Kirk was MAGA. But I'm going to prove that wrong right now and right away. Because the FBI just announced what was written on the shell casings and the gun that was used to kill Charlie Kirk. So here's what this guy, Tyler Robinson, wrote on the shell casings he was using to kill Charlie Kirk with. The one bullet had the phrase, "Hey, fascist, catch." Yeah, I'm sure a MAGA person would write that, wouldn't they? Don't forget another bullet casing said, "Oh, Bella Ciao," which is a reference to an anti-fascist Italian partisan song. Also on another bullet, it said, quote, "If you can read this, you're gay." Didn't say this. Kash Patel, the director of the FBI, just announced it at a press conference. So no, liberals, sorry, he's one of yours. He's absolutely one of yours. He is a progressive terrorist that killed Charlie Kirk, just like we figured from the beginning. Just because he knew how to shoot didn't mean he wasn't a progressive liberal. You now need to take account for this man. The media did this. You did this, social media did this. And some of the behavior I've seen with you liberals is not only appalling, it's demonic. I would say you need to check yourself and learn empathy, but you don't know how to do that. You don't know what empathy is. In my opinion, liberals are just violent political NPCs now and must be treated accordingly.
Now, 99.99% of the videos that man does, we're not going to show on here because he is very foul-mouthed. He's from Indianapolis, but this one, for whatever reason, no swearing, and he made some good points. I'm still trying to figure out the bullet casing that says, "If you can read this, you are gay." I know.
Yeah, I don't even understand what that means.
Yeah. But and the only other one I got's the funny video with Charlie Kirk and the other guy, and this is how I want to remember him. I'm tired of remembering him laying there in blood or clenching his fists. I want to remember the good times, You want me to play it now?
Yep.
Mr. Stein, Well, Mr. Stein, that's my government name. My street name is Charlie Kirk, the world's greatest college debater. And I know you are a seasoned debater, but I am the best. And I must say, Charlie, you are talking about immigration. You're talking about deportations, mass deportations. But I must say that my housekeeper, Juanita, has raised me since I was a little boy. And she's as legal as hell. She's illegal. So I want to say that, Charlie, why would you want to kick out my housekeeper? Because we need to protect all big-booty Latinas. If you're a 9, you are fine. You get to stay. If you're an 8, we can have an immigration debate. If you're a 6, you can kick bricks. But, Charlie, let's protect my housekeeper. Why does Juanita have to go, Charlie?
But you said she's legal, right?
She's illegal, yes.
Oh, illegal. Okay,
illegal. Oh, yeah, she's very illegal. No papers.
I'm sorry. They all got to go.
No, but Charlie, I can't afford to pay a legal one. It's like 50 cents an hour for her.
No, it's going to break your bank.
Charlie, please, just let the lady stay. She's not...
No amnesty, no deportations, no exceptions. They're all going home.
Okay, well, I still won this debate. I love Charlie. We love it. We love you, Charlie. Keep up the good work.
You want a hat?
Yeah, give me a hat. Charlie, you rule. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Alex.
Is there anything Charlie Kirk can't do? He threw that hat perfect.
I know Charlie didn't talk much in there, but his reaction and no, they all got to go. That just broke me right there.
Well, I'm not going to. I was able to find this and it had actually gone away here. It's a long segment on Kirk Cameron's podcast that he had Charlie on. I'll just play a minute or around that of what he has to say, but I respect both of these two very much, and I'm going to have to share my screen for this one.
Is a tactic used by the enemy to silence truth.
Right.
And that fear is understandable. But if you succumb to that fear, then all of a sudden you are playing into the greatest weapon used by the opposition.
You're not only motivating people with great speakers and cool events for young people, but you're also educating them about the things that they're often not hearing in their schools, particularly public schools for sure, but even private schools, even faith-based schools are not teaching these kinds of principles without which we don't have a republic like we do. One of those principles is religious freedoms. When I was in school as a kid, I didn't really learn much about that at all. In fact, I wasn't religious. And so for me, I didn't even really care about the subject. But to our founders, it was absolutely essential. Why is religious freedom the mother of all freedoms?
First and foremost, it's the freedom to worship your own creator, the reason why you exist. And also the founding fathers designed this system of self-government, believing that only with a moral and religious people this was possible. It's John Adams' quote where he said, "The Constitution was written solely for a moral and religious people. It's wholly inadequate for the people of any other." And so limited government is only possible when people are able to regulate their own decisions and conduct, particularly in religious communities or having at least the church or...
Do you need a...
That was where I was going to stop it anyway. I'm sure, I mean, that's a 20-some minute video, and I know we all don't have time to watch tons of those, but, you know, one thing...
I wanted to share something real quick that I just found. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Well, I was just going to say one thing about Charlie. He would get irritated occasionally and might be what some people would say short with people, but most of the time Charlie was as cool as a cucumber. And let me guess what that is. Is that Charlie?
Is his chair.
Charlie
Kirk show.
I know his wife was scheduled to make some kind of a statement tonight, and I don't know if that happened while we were on.
I have it. Don't have a chance to review it, and I didn't get a chance to upload it and save it and all that noise. So we'll have to have it Tuesday.
Okay. Again, we'll be here Tuesday night, or at least Ronnie and I will. Someone has to work on Tuesdays.
Yep.
Somebody has to work. We're doing this in place of prayer and share, unless we get some kind of a wild spur tomorrow night that we don't have anything else going on. But I know that people think that all you do is get on here and talk, but it takes a lot of getting ready for. You know, we've looked at hours worth of videos. A lot of them don't come close to making the cut, but
like we were talking earlier about picking through AI and not having conspiracy theories and stuff. I had one that I uploaded and went, no, I don't think that one's quite reality or fact, so I got rid of it.
Well, and your mom has a serious opinion on this, about the AI stuff that you have to worry about. You know, I mean, even since we first started in November, it's gotten way more difficult to make sure that things that we have to bring to you is real, and that it's red, white, and true. Because they make, you and I watched a video that was supposed to be Charlie Kirk's wife, and
it wasn't.
Well, she said to me, watch this and see what you think. And I'd actually already seen it and started and said, that's not her. It's not. There's no way that on the day after her husband was assassinated that she would be saying those kind of things. It's just, it wouldn't happen. And what's your opinion on AI?
I wish they would outlaw it, because I think it's going to cause a lot of legal issues with the criminal justice system. I think it's going to cause attorneys to be using AI to alter pictures that could be used as evidence. I think it's going to cause a lot of issues with things like that. Recordings that attorneys could use, and I think there's going to be a lot of criminals that are going to get set free because of AI, and I think it's going to cause a major issue.
There are some things about AI that are amazingly good. The debate will have to come in. AI is not going anywhere. We talked about this afternoon when you were here, Ronnie.
Yep.
It's not going anywhere.
Nope.
But something has got to be able to police, isn't the word I really want, but to do something to help,
to where it's identified.
Yeah, to help us be able to identify whether something is
AI altered.
Yes, exactly. Oh, Beth is talking about what she said tonight.
Oh.
So Beth has seen that.
Well, the remarks Beth made about it earlier on Facebook were very, very well said. I didn't get a chance to see the what she had said, but Beth's remarks were amazing.
If we have to be back before Tuesday, we will certainly do that. I think I'm going to, Ronnie, quit predicting that.
Please do. Please do. We were talking about that earlier.
Tuesday night, I said, I don't know. I got a feeling that we're going to end up being back on here. And Charlie got shot on Wednesday. So, yeah, I think I'm going to.
Not that I don't enjoy doing red, white, and true. I just didn't enjoy the reason why we had to do it.
No, not this time. Usually when we do the specials, it's not for something that we wanted to happen. Say goodnight, Ronnie.
Good night for being here. We'll see you on Tuesday.
Say that again, because you were muted for a second.
I'm muted. Good night, everybody. We will see you on Tuesday, if not sooner. Thank you for being here.
All right.
Always a pleasure.
Good night, Amy.
Until we see you again, we're going to just pass on our catchphrase. We don't want anybody to take anything in the wrong manner. We'll be back with that after a little bit of a break from that. So God bless you all. Thank you. We love you, and see you again soon. Watch this video of a young black man and how much he thought of Charlie Kirk.
So when I learned about what happened to Charlie Kirk today, it was like a punch in the gut. Because like Charlie, I'm a Christian, I'm a father, I'm a husband. Even though he might not have known it, his movement had a big effect on my life. I've been invited to several of his company Turning Points events over the last several years. And the first time me and my wife went to one of the events, we were blown away because we didn't realize how big the conservative movement was until we went to a Turning Point event. And we realized how much we're not alone, and that there are thousands of people who hold some of the same beliefs that we do, that want the best for our country the same way we do, that want to see God and Christian values be put at the forefront of our country the way we do. This young guy, Charlie Kirk, was at the forefront of this massive movement, this juggernaut of a movement. So when I learned about what happened to him today, it really broke my heart. I thought about his wife, his children, his close friends, and all the young people whose lives he's helped and affected. So I started to pray for peace that surpasses all understanding for all of them. I started to pray that the Lord comfort them. And as I was praying for them, I started to get peace about it, because I realized what the enemy meant for evil, the Lord will turn around for his good, and the Lord will be glorified through this. He will get the glory. I think that this is going to awaken many Christians to be more bold about their faith, to stand firm on their beliefs and who they are, and be proud to represent Christ no matter the cost. See, Charlie Kirk planted a seed in thousands and thousands of the next generation, and now that he's gone, now that they've made a martyr of him, that seed is only going to grow. It's only going to get bigger. So I want to say God bless Charlie's family, all of his loved ones, all of the people who loved him. He was an inspiration to a lot of people. Charlie Kirk was a fearless warrior, and he inspired others who are going to make the movement even bigger. As for me, this is going to make me more bold in my faith, make me continue to stand up for the truth and what's right. May God get all the glory.